Hello and welcome back to another installment of Fodder. Today is Monday, October 16th, and I just realized I don't think I've gotten any of the Carmenite from the Silver Moon Hall, so I need to get on that. I think there will be a new banner this week. I'm actually on 50-50 on it. I actually, in the end Discord, I said I did not think there was going to be a new banner. I actually thought that there would be... Let me turn off my alerts just so I don't get any messages here. I thought that there would not be a new banner. I thought that the Silver Moon Hall would be coming today, and it did. I don't know what makes me change my mind, but I just don't think they're going to go... With the state of the game right now, I don't think they're going to go an entire month and not release another set of new Pokemon. That being the case, this week would make sense. If we are going to, I would expect to see either an announcement late tonight, Monday for me, or late tomorrow night. So if the new banner is going to come on Wednesday, I expect it tonight. And if the new banner is going to come on Thursday, I would expect it tomorrow. For some reason, I feel like it's always on Monday and then it never is on Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and say we'll know something late tomorrow night. But what I wanted to talk about in today's video is something I think that is relevant to a very large majority of my viewers. And that is, well, I'm free to play. Not me specifically, this is my viewers talking. I'm free to play, or I really only buy the $8 boosters or gem sales when they come out. So I'm pretty much free to play, you know, somewhere in the range of, I'm free to play to, I've spent probably less than $100 on the game. Somewhere in there, I think, is where a very large majority of my viewers fall. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. A viewer who is also a member of my Discord named DeBears, reached out to me and said, hey, I've got a deck that doesn't require a lot of sea levels. And I think at the time he had been 3.9K, 3,900, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly what he was when we played in our room match. And I'm going to show you our room match because he was kind of explaining his deck and I was like, wait. Hold on one second here. Maybe instead of you sending me your deck and then trying to explain the play style and then me loosely recreating the play style and maybe not even recreating it very well, how about if I just play you? We set up a room match, and that's the genesis of how this came to be. So what he did is we got together and he has a deck, and I honestly have no idea what his situation is as far as if he's pay to play, free to play, but the deck he put together, and I will agree after seeing the deck, it does not need a lot of chain levels to be effective. And that's where the distance is really starting to grow between the free to play and the people who pay to play the game. There's a huge difference with these loyalty rewards that have now been enabled for the past 2 months. It's growing immensely. And as somebody who doesn't want to or doesn't have the means to put a lot of money or money into your game every month, and some people just don't want to. Like, for some people, it's a game. But for those people, like, the gap is starting to widen, we'll say. So what I did, we set up this room match, and I said, hey, let's play a best 2 out of 3 because anything can happen. Anything can happen in a best of 1. But immediately after seeing his deck, I was like, oh no, there is no way in the world I want to face this deck twice. I don't even want to face this deck in League once. I sure don't want to face it in a room match twice, maybe even 3 times. So what he did is he put together a really good deck. off the top of my head, I don't even remember what his deck is, but I've got it recorded, and I'm going to voice over the gameplay that we had and kind of give you my ideas as best as I remember them. But as you saw with Friday's video on my free-to-play account, a week had gone by and I really couldn't remember if I even won the game or not. And so here we are, you know, 3 days later, I'm doing another video where I'm going to voice over gameplay that has already happened. And I really don't remember much about the match other than my initial thought was, oh my God, no, I don't want to play this deck. And it's not a Cosmo deck. I'll just go ahead and take that off the table right now. And my second thought was, I don't know how to open against this, but I'm going to try this. And I remember very loosely how I opened. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to queue up the other video. Wait right there, because this is really good. And I'll give you my thoughts later on, but it's a good deck. It's a competitive deck. It doesn't need chain levels to be competitive. And I guarantee your opponent's not going to want to see this deck. That's all I'm going to tease. Let me go get the video queued up, and we'll be right back. All right, so here it is. If you look at the deck, Zapdos, Raikou, Seismitoad, Koko, Sableye, and Gengar with Mega Gengar. Already, like I mentioned, I don't want to deal with this deck, and I don't know how I'm going to stop the Koko Mega Gengar Rush if you look at my deck. He opens with Koko, and I have two options. I can either double chance and blast into Koko with my Koko, and I don't even know if I'm running double chance in this or not. Or I can play it safe and run the back line. I don't know why I chose to run the back line, but I did. Maybe the better play, because I really just don't know. I don't know. Do you run out and attack Koko when they are aggressive with Koko, or do you just go protect your goal? Who knows? So I bring Cosmog out, and my thought here was, I'm losing an entry point, first and foremost, but how am I going to get, what is my best chance for getting Pokemon on the field? And because of Nebby's Wish, I believe is what it's called, on Cosmog, it's going to allow me to have the potential to pull my Solgaleo off the bench if I'm fortunate enough to roll it. On top of that, Cosmog doesn't have a lot of white. I think it's 16. So there's not a lot for Mega Gengar to attack into if he chooses to evolve. I cover my goal with Sceptile because I have to, and just as I suspected, my entry points in, what is that, in 6-7 turns are completely capped. I double chance into him. I get teleport, and that's not what I want. I don't want to displace. I'm trying to get Leo on the field. Luckily, oh, Nebby's Power. It's not Nebby's Wish. Luckily, I rolled Nebby's Power. So, Cosmog evolves, but it also brings Leo off my bench. Now I have 3 Pokemon on the field where normally I would not have even had the opportunity to get 3 Pokemon on the field. I'm feeling better about my situation, but not great. What I'm thinking here is now I have Leo, which can knock out Koko, and I believe that's what I go do. Okay, yeah. So I need to free up an entry point because I have to get Pokemon on the field, get the double chance. Thank goodness he didn't roll the blue, otherwise this could have been a really short video. So now I have an entry point free. And at this point, now I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, this isn't that big of a deal at this point. His Gengar can't attack my Sceptile because my Sceptile can cover Mega Gengar's 140. I mean, it's a 25% chance of doing it, but I still have that chance. He chooses not to attack, and I'm thankful for that. And now we just have a normal game again. But I can tell you that your opponent is not going to want to face this rush. And I feel like, you don't have to have all of the elements that he's running, but the principle behind the deck, I'm sure just about everybody has. As you can see, I don't know what my best play here is. I think I have long throw in my deck. I have to have long throw in this deck, otherwise he wouldn't have moved out of my way there. So I was setting up this round, and now what started off in my eyes is I have no idea how I'm going to get more than 2 Pokemon on the field. I now have both entry points open, and I have all 6 of my Pokemon on the field, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot better than I thought I would when I saw what I was going up against. And let me just tell you that there are maybe a handful of people running Cosmog, and if you don't happen to come up against one of those people, then you're probably going to have both of your opponent's entry points open with a chance to win the game right off the bat, which is what makes his deck so good, is it puts on so much pressure really fast, and it forces the other opponent to play A, more aggressively than they probably want to, and B, on their heels. I can't remember. Did he trigger his Phantom Energy there? And that's the other thing. With Phantom Energy, he has 2 Ghost-type Pokemon. His Seismitoad can poison everything on the back row. That's just silly right there. I didn't even remember that, but that probably won't ever happen again. But now I have a double evolved Leo on the field, which is always going to be super nice. But his Seismitoad can poison everything along the back line, and his 2 ghosts are going to be able to come and go off the bench at will because of Phantom Energy. Is the way that works. I don't remember why I moved Solgaleo. I don't know that I had Steel Energy with this deck. I really wish I had thought about showing off my plates. Oh, as I said, it looked like I was trying to look at my plates. That's more what I expect out of my Pokemon, is to roll miss. Let's see if I go back to my plates here. I can't see what I was looking at. Okay, Swap Spot, Pokemon Switch. Okay. I don't really have any issue with that. And I think my Solgaleo it's poison, so I don't have Steel Energy in this deck. Roost, okay. The Sableye, if you remember, is going to give -1 off your opponent's attack. That was the right play. Coco's not very strong. He has Scoop Up, and I didn't see what his other plate was. Now he's forced to give me an entry point, and this actually sets up Mewtwo for the Psycho Shove. Unfortunately for me, he rolled the dodge, but that would have been pretty clutch. That would have been game right there, had I been able to pull that off. See, I didn't even remember that I did that. Oh no, he has Gold Block. He could have Gold Blocked. So he did Scoop Up, Surround, and I think he actually gets the double KO here. Yeah. And at this point, I do remember I wasn't feeling great anymore. I went from a 6-on-4 advantage to 4-on-4 in 1 turn, and now 4-on-3. So in 2 turns, the tide completely changed on me. That was unfortunate. It was a really nice play by him. He presses forward. That's not a good matchup for me at all. I have to be carrying goal block, but I can't think of any other reason why I would have made that play right there if I wasn't carrying goal block. And I probably put Leo back. I mean, my only other option would have been, so I have a hurdle jump and a goal block. Okay. And then 2 double chance. The reason why I like Leo as a goalie is because even if he loses rolling the 100, which he's out chain leveled, he's going to knock out the opponent as well. And that comes in pretty handy as a goalie. A lot of times, as long as your opponent doesn't have a 3 MP Pokemon sitting on one of your entry points, that's going to stall them out enough for you to get somebody back. Ugh. That was a terrible roll. Zapdos doing Zapdos things right there for sure. Oh, and because my Solgaleo was poisoned, he got KO'd. Wow, this really went downhill pretty quick. If you remember, it wasn't but a handful of plays ago that I had a Pokemon on his entry point. I was a Psycho Shove away from pretty much putting the game on ice. And now I'm scrambling. Okay, so he takes Seismitoad and is just pelting everything I have and poisoning them. Swap spot, hurdle jump. That was interesting. Well, I guess I went there because, well, because Coco can't really handle another beating. And then Zapdos would be pretty easy to take out Solgaleo. So I think that was probably the right play. I've got Sceptile poisoned or Noxious, one of the two. And in danger of, wow. And in danger of getting surrounded by, or passed over by Gengar. I've got Coco down on his end of the board. Also 2 turns away from getting passed over. And this is a terrible matchup. Okay. So I swap out and I attack. I think I'm just trying to knock him out because he's going to take over my entry point on the next turn. And that's not good for me at all, simply because I have 2 status-affected poison Pokemon on his end of the board with Gengar who can easily remove them. And my entry point's covered. That doesn't bode well for me. Yeah, that's no good. I think, though... Oh, no. I get knocked out here. Wow. This is really bad. I'm not even going to lie. I think I hop over and come back. And I don't... Like, I think that was the right play. Oh my gosh. Wow. Super, super lucky. That was incredible, actually. Super lucky there. So now it's kind of just back. We're, 3 minutes in, because I did 10-minute timer. So we're 3 minutes in, and everything's pretty much at a stalemate again. If you think about it. He still has his goal block. Press up with Zapdos, which is going to threaten this round. He's going to back up and go for the attack. Okay. Ooh. I've had some good rolls, but then I've had some bad ones as well. But I think they're pretty even here. Ooh, that was a good roll for me. And I chose to do that over take his entry point because Toad is a major threat when Gengar is on the field. And yeah, I didn't take over his entry point so he can bring another Pokemon and both of his Pokemon, as the case may be, out on the field. But I get the one who can status just by attacking off the field. So I felt like that was a pretty fair exchange. And I think that was the right play. Attack there just to keep Coco from threatening my goal. Mewtwo's not the worst of defenders, but he's not, he's not the one that you want back there for sure. I think you could do worse. So now I'm going to have a wait 2, which is essentially roost. And I have Pokemon Switch. I wonder if I swap out. Although with Zapdos is actually a pretty decent matchup into Sableye. Oh, look at that. That's crippling to Solgaleo to have a status effect like that, but it also hurts him as well. I'm surprised he didn't attack there. Yeah, you can see that's a lot of red on my side of the wheel. Wow. Okay. And it's also 120. That would normally, if that wasn't an evolved Solgaleo, that would just be a 100 attack, not a 120. And then we both would have been, I don't remember if his Gengar had a chain level or not. Wow, another good roll. I'm already electrocuted, so him getting his Thunder isn't that big of a deal. I can't I can't believe I attacked here. Yeah, that probably would have been better to not attack and just take my chances with him coming off the bench and attacking. Okay, bring Coco out to play defense. And I don't know why I'm not pushing, other than he has a Pokemon on his bench, just in case I do this, I guess. I figured it was worth it. He's easily going to take Gold Block here. And then I'm going to most likely back off to the entry point with Zapdos. I don't think. Okay. Yeah, okay. That was a good play right there. But I don't know. Now he's got 2 Pokemon on the bench, so I don't know. Like, I'm kind of stuck here. I don't know how to attack. It's risky. The better play may have been to put Coco on my goal and threaten the surround. Although even if Sceptile gets knocked out here, I'm still going to be able to bring one of my Solgaleos out on the board. It's probably checking to see how big the dodge was. Okay, and now that he doesn't have Pokemon on the bench, I go in and attack. That is going to be a surround. Oh, but he doesn't take it. Interesting. So he goes after my entry point. I get the fortunate roll there. This is not happening. So I'm pretty sure he takes him out now. Okay. You know, I maybe could have moved my Coco into my goal and surrounded his Coco, or at least threatened to, and then backed Zapdos off from his Zapdos and kept putting him back on the entry point. He has no more plates left. So I'm going to be able to cover gold no matter what he does with Gengar. He chooses not to go after Gengar, but he chooses to poison my Coco. I honestly, I'm always tempted to take someone out and go YOLO with them. Now, I do remember the reason why I chose to do this is because I've been watching some of the other End Guild players play on the live streams, and I've always wondered, I will see them just go after things with Coco, and I'm like, why would you do that? The matchup looks so bad in my mind. And I see it doesn't work sometimes, but then it works other times. And that's what I did there. I was like, I've seen other people do this. It worked out for them, and it worked out for me there. I got the very fortunate, you know, Zapdos's wheel is like 60% not good and 40% great. So I ended up pulling out the victory. But like I said, if you are one of those players who doesn't put a lot of money into the game, that's probably a deck that's very similar to something that you can build. Your opponent's not going to want to see it. Once you learn how to play it, you'll be very successful with it. My opponent lost this game, but obviously he's very successful in regular league play with the deck. I got to give him a thumbs up. I think it was a great deck. He played great, and I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Bring other decks to my attention. Please, let me know. But that's going to do it for today's video. I think tomorrow we're going to do some AI games. So look forward to that. And until next time.